Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 replay cast. Today it's a 1 vs 1 on Last Refuge. And before we get to the players and the replay, just got a quick announcement. This Saturday, I think it's October 8th, on Twitch, I'll be live casting some various replays from Warcraft 3 ArenaNet. I'm basically going to pick some at semi-random, as long as they're not just like a 3-minute replay or that sort of thing. So if you want your replay casted, put it on there, and I might just pick it. So it's going to be Saturday at 2 p.m. Arizona time. Now, if you don't know what Arizona time is, just Google what time is it in Arizona, and then just sort of extrapolate from there, like what time that is from you. So 2 p.m. is when it'll start, and it'll go on for a couple hours, and I think it'll be a really good time. And I will see you guys there, but at the top side of the map, we have our gray Night Elf player, AJK. Down the bottom, we have our red Night Elf player, Happybany. And this is a Warcraft 3 ArenaNet top replay, so it should be pretty good. And we're going to speed this up to the 8x mark, to the 2-minute point of the game when the heroes come out, which isn't going to be very long since I was talking. And Demon Hunter for our red Night Elf player. Using the Ancient of War, going after the Ogre Magi camp. And pretty much the same thing for our gray Night Elf player. Both sides going after the respective Goblin Merchant camp here. So we'll see what drops for our red player. Potion of Invulnerability, very nice. And can't quite get to it. And got himself a Potion of Greater Healing, also very nice. So two pretty good items to start. Which one would be better? I'm not quite sure. I guess the Potion of Invulnerability you could go with first, because that's 15 seconds of invulnerability. That is always a good time. And so cleared that up just about the same time. I think our Grey Night Elf player cleared it a little bit faster. And looks like we have an enemy Ancient of War being created here just to slow his opponent down a little bit. And that will be canceled eventually. Now going after the Forest High Priest. And gets a replenishment potion, which I always like. I see a lot of people sell those, but those are always kind of nice. I mean, mana and hit points, always a good thing. But again, two Demon Hunters, and I say this pretty much every time I do a Night Elf versus Night Elf, two Demon Hunters is such a weird hero matchup. It's one of the weirdest hero matchups in the game, because it's like a catch-22. You mana burn your opponent, take away his mana, and then he mana burns you, takes away your mana, so you don't want a lot of mana on either of your heroes, just because it's gonna lead to actually receiving more damage.
Our warriors have engaged.
So very interesting. And uses the replenishment potion, gonna be healing up a little bit there, getting a little bit of his mana back, and boots of speed, and dust of appearance for the other player there.
I stand ready.
Or AJK rather.
Our warriors
and Happybany moving on in. I believe that's called Happybany, maybe Happybany, but I kind of doubt that. But so we're just gonna go with Happybany. I know there's no H in there, but if it isn't, I apologize. And Archer's wailing away here, and no dust appearance on Happy there. We're not going to be able to find those archers once they disappear in Shadow Meld. Shadow Melding them one at a time, that is a better bet than shadowing and melding all of them at once. That way the damage will persist. Cancels the Ancient of Wonders, but can easily just remake that. And I'm going to have to go after the Moonwell now. Now the Ancient of War actually completed and is giving AJK a hard time here in the base. The archers are all over it, but do such little damage, and all it has to do is just pretty much eat a tree and gains a ton of health against these archers. Trying to get this Moonwell down, but I don't think it's going to happen. Another Wisp can come in here and just make it so. So now the Ancient of War is pretty screwed. We'll go down eventually here. Red Night Elf now going after just a tiny Ogre Warrior camp here.
I stand ready.
And also bought himself a Staff of Teleportation and a Ring of Selling +2. 60 gold for our red Demon Hunter. And can I go some Huntresses, which is somewhat unusual. A lot of times people just trade up archers and or go right into dryads. So we're gonna get some Huntresses out in the field, and which are really great, of course, against archers. but at the same time are unarmored, so they take more damage from archers. So again, a very weird matchup, I think, Night Elf versus Night Elf is.
Research finished.
Dark Ranger for the second hero. And there goes the mana burn on that Dark Ranger. Does a bunch of damage here. Naga Sea Witch for the second hero for AJK. And trying to use that Black Arrow, trying to get some minions going here. And no minion on that one. That was his own, so never mind on that one. Nearly gonna lose this one, so minion comes on out. Gonna be a little bit of extra damage here. Another minion pops out. Demon Hunter down to very low levels here, but has the Potion of Vulnerability. 15 seconds of opness to go. And is that Black Arrow still gonna be on it? No, not gonna get the Dark Minion from that. And now our Dark Ranger is running for her life. Does not have a town portal or any way to get out of there. So may end up losing that Dark Ranger at some point here. And no Boots of Speed, though, on the Grey Demon Hunter.
Our sacred grove is
So
being
really, this is going to be
desecrated.
running successfully all the way back to base. 2 Ancients of War, so now AJK going back with his own Ancients of War. 2 of them spawning in the red base of Happy here. With 2 heroes, should be able to do some decent amount of damage to these Ancient Wars, but now one of them popped up. The other one just about ready as well.
Your building is
And I'm going to call in the Ogre Mauler here a little bit. Which is just doing damage to his own base. And Demon Hunter getting very, very, very low. Hitting by so many archers and that Naga Sea Witch, so a lot of ranged damage on AJK. Not so much on Red. He's trying to tech up quick to get some Druids of the Claw out. If he gets those Druids, then they will just absolutely annihilate those archers. But it's going to be easier said than done. Going to have to get that training going here. It only has 1 bear just standing around. Druid of the Claw, rather. And the Elder of Elders will fall. No Whis on the way to repair that.
Your building is complete.
Now another bear is on the way.
Truth may not be.
Or rather, I should probably just say druid, but I always just call them bears straight up anyway. Ancient of War is still creeping on in. Ancient of Wonder is now going to be created by AJK. I think that was some false sunlight there. Moonstone was used to keep these moonwells going there. Still pumping out these druids one at a time with this Ancient of Lore. This Ancient of Lore is the lifeline of Happy right now. And AJK is just absolutely sieging this base. We'll just take a quick look at his base real quick. And producing Druids of the Talon now, which are on the way. And an Ancient of War has come from behind. I think that was the Ancient of War that was at the shop earlier. And made its way all the way down there to defend the Night Elf base, but did not do too good of a job. Ran into a ton of archers and the Demon Hunter as well. Demon Hunter now takes a rejuvenation from one of those druids. And Master is now coming as well, so that they can actually be bears.
Your building is complete.
And an absolute siege of each other's bases here. Plenty of mana for Dark Arrows, though, so could be going after these archers individually, trying to create some of those Dark Minions at the very least. So at least you would take out the archer, create a Dark Minion, and then they would have to take out that Dark Minion, which honestly at this point would not take very long with all of those archers. Sort of compounds the situation for your enemy at the very least. Another Ancient of War here. And it has buried itself and will go down very quickly. Staff of Teleportation saves the druid there. Rather, Preservation. We got so many staffs. Preservation, Teleportation, Sanctuary. And now the archer's going down very easily here. But 2 bears fall, and that is huge for AJK, because that's going to be a lot of experience. But these archers now all broken up and are routing all over the place, and the Dark Ranger now down.
Our
We're happy.
warriors have engaged the enemy.
AJK's Naga Sea Witch may fall as well, just needs a little bit more mana for a mana burn,
Our
or
champion has fallen.
that works too. And good old boots of speed. No boots of speed on the other demon hunter. So can't quite do the same and chase down units like that. Another bear is going to be out on the field here. And there goes the rejuvenation. And there goes the transformation. But already at half health, so not going to be entirely useful now. And Archer's missing all over the place on that demon hunter. But does have fairy fire on, so losing a little bit of armor as well. And did keep that ring of selling, which in this case is kind of a good idea, dealing with all of these archers, all this little bit of damage. And just 2 armor for these archers is kind of decent, especially considering with that fairy fire on doesn't take so much of his armor away, rather. And 2 demon hunters now going at it. Close fight going on here. There goes that potion of healing that was found earlier in the game that has come in handy. There goes the purchase of a potion of lesser invulnerability, trying to get out of here and can't quite get around those creeps there, interestingly enough. And Boots of Speed wins against not Boots of Speed, and Ancient Allure is now heavily under siege. And the Wisps are coming to keep repairing that. And he has to keep this Ancient Allure. Without that Ancient Allure, no more bears. It's going to be very difficult to win the game without them. There goes a rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter there. And another bear coming here, but the bear's just taking so much damage, and that Fairy Fire bringing it down to -1 armor. And bears are just falling like crazy here. He can't just quite mass them like he needs to. He needs to have a good 4 of them ready. And he keeps bringing them out one at a time, in a sense, just because he doesn't have the time to really mass them. And so he had about 3 there, then brought out a 4th one. And now the siege has completed temporarily. AJK back at the base used all the moonwells there. Well, a couple of the moonwells, they were definitely full, as they'd not been used in a while. And now Happy's still trying to clean up the base of his opponent, though. Ancient of Wonders needs to go. And Happy at 33 out of 60 here, 200. And back to AJK, 46 out of 50. And plenty of moon juice here for these bears, but would pretty much annihilate all of it. Really needs it for his hero. Another bear is almost going to be completed here, and I don't think the second bear is going to ever make it out unless the repairing goes a little faster here. Now the Dark Ranger is out, saving this base, and the repairing is going strong here. And the more he is distracted, the more this is going to be completed, and this bear may actually get out. There is just so much stuff on the screen here for AJK. It's almost confusing for Happy of what to even go for at this point, as it's just so easy to micro away. Happy down to a quarter health here. Both heroes down quite low, and neither one with a potion of invulnerability. So when it comes down to it, Happy is doing much better with those rejuvenation. Rejuvenation, so much health. And Staff of Sanctuary sends the Demon Hunter on home. Another Staff of Sanctuary sends the bearer to the base. But since they were right there anyway, all those projectiles just hit him either way. Demon Hunter has a few choices here of very low, juicy Night Elf units here. Some Dust of Appearance would do well to show some of these units in case they shadow meld. There goes a big mana burn, another big mana burn. And now both sides going out of here. Dark arrows going after the Demon Hunter here, but those dark arrows could be going after this archer here. Make a dark minion. Gonna go make a dark minion out of the Talon there. And now another weak unit here. Another minion, but that gets dispelled by a Wisp. He's bringing in Wisp now to help dispel those minions when they come out, and to help repair his structures. And using the help of the Dark Ranger here to try and get rid of Lady Serpentra. The Naga Sea Witch has fallen now. And now AJK in kind of trouble. I want to say that he's in a little bit of trouble, but this is a very odd situation for both players. He lost both of his heroes. However, the base of Happy is under constant siege. And now just a few weak units lying around here, and dark minions being created. And no more Dark Arrow there for the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger will fall here and loses the Dark Ranger now. And what will become of this very interesting replay so far? And I don't think I've ever seen the use of Ancient of Wars this much. I've certainly seen them being used many a time, but in this case, they are still alive and still going strong here. Now the Bears are in on the fight here, going after some of these Talons, and just one hit from these Bears does tremendous damage to these, particularly the archers. And can get a nice Druid of the Talon kill here as well. And there is even more. Actually, this couple of these could be one-shotted.
Our warriors
And
have
they heal up
engaged
with the
enemy.
Moonwell a little bit there. Ancient of Wonders now being created in the base for Happy. And these Druids are just pummeling this Ancient of War, but he is continuously eating trees, continuously rejuvenating health. But not going to last too long. There goes that one. Ancient of War left over here. And once this Ancient of War is gone, Happy will be free to actually build again for once here. And we'll have the pressure off of him for a short while. And there it goes. And now, free from the siege, Happybany has survived that. Not going to go after the Ogre Mauler camp. Why not treat himself to some creeping? And same thing with Terrorblade here. Or rather, AJK, Terrorblade, the Demon Hunter. And we'll see what drops for these two players here. The Magi about to fall. And Book of the Dead, very nice. Can easily be dispelled, however, by Night Elf. And the other Magi are going to fall here. And Healthstone for the other Night Elf. So Book of the Dead is something that can become very, very useful or can be instantly countered depending on what is ready. We'll see if he sells this or not, or if he's going to keep it. It looks like he's going to keep it. If you actually can get into somebody's base, deep into somebody's base, and just cast that Book of the Dead, it's very devastating just because of the amount of DPS that 4 archers and 4 skeletal minions do. It can be dispelled very easily in the case of a Night Elf base, but of course at the cost of a Wisp and such.
Your building is complete.
And now I would say a much stronger army on the half of Happy here. And there goes the Book of the Dead, and skeleton minions galore all over the place. And not really the time to use it so much. It does create sort of a barrier, but I really feel that they're good. Not necessarily at buildings, but just at a nice surprise to just pop into somebody's base and kill a bunch of acolytes with them, or take out a building or two, or just do some chaos in general in somebody's base. And now AJK here is on the run. Just a couple bears left for Happy. Some of them have been ported back, though. And the Naga Sea Witch here. Staff of Sanctuary saving both. And I think AJK had left that game. So winner, Happybany. And so an interesting, got pushed back to the base. Both of his heroes were extremely low on health. and didn't really have much else going for him. Every talent and archer that would come out would just get mauled by the bears, and so once Happy got that siege taken care of, those bears were just so superior to particularly the archers with the medium armor. They even have less health than the Druids of the Talon, and then take more damage than the Druids of the Talon. So archers just not gonna do it unless you have maybe 100 food worth of archers against the bears. But heroes were relatively similar there. At the end, had a 5 and a 4 and 5 and a 3. Both of these heroes at the end were incredibly low and had this Staff of Sanctuary themselves back to the base, and they would not have lasted much longer. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and don't forget, live stream on Saturday at 2 p.m. Arizona time. And it'll go on for maybe 2 or 3 hours, depending, if I get a lot of viewers, maybe I'll do it for a little bit longer. But so I'm just going to be selecting some replays randomly, I suppose, from War 3 ArenaNet or Warcraft 3 ArenaNet. And so it might be yours, and each one will be individually recorded and then put on my YouTube as an actual replay cast. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.